Welcome to the channel, folks. Clunkers and Classics. Today is the episode where we're going to strip down this 2001 Silverado and get it ready for the LS swap into the 68 Nomad. I got her running, just checking everything out. RPM gauge works, got 150,950 miles on it. Good oil pressure, volts work, temperature works, got a quarter tank of fuel, and I need to check the engine codes. Last time it was reading 2 codes, but I can't remember what they were for. Nothing really important. Okay, so if you're new, I bought this truck for 300 bucks. It actually sounds pretty good. I don't know if I really want to put side pipes on the Nomad, but this got some turbo mufflers or whatever on it. It sounds pretty good. So I bought this thing for 300 bucks. The rear end's blown, got a big hole in the differential casing, and twisted the rear drive shaft. I think this is it here, isn't it? Anyway, busted the rear drive shaft out of it. That's all it needs to run and drive. Now, to sell, to make maximum profit, I'd have to paint it, put on tires. It's got a little bullseye in the windshield there. Nothing too serious. The little bottom of the bumper plastic thing is missing. These things I got on the wrong side and upside down. Okay, so she's got we'll go over it. Got a 5.3. There's all the stats on it. The belt thing. The oil was full but dirty. Runs great, doesn't miss or anything, but of course we're going to, before we put it in the Nomad, we're going to change over all the plugs. 150,000 miles, it's due for everything. We're going to change the transmission fluid and filter, plugs, all that stuff. Clean everything up. And of course change the oil and filter and stuff before we get it running in the Nomad. So what are we going to strip off this? So yeah, like I said, I really hate to strip it down and part it out, but the thing is, I'm not going to come across another engine and transmission that I can hear run with this low miles on it for 300 bucks. Even 1,000 bucks. I was thinking before I even bought this, well, what is it worth to me? Probably worth 1,000 bucks to find a good engine transmission in a whole vehicle. But you can't even find these for $1,000 running. It's pure luck that I got this for 300. Okay, so a friend of mine told me the catalytic converters, 2 of them on there, they're $200 each. I'm not quite sure on that. I thought they were more like 100 each, but he was saying he cashed some in there a little while ago and they were 200 each. So I don't know, unless he was talking about 3/4 tons or something. So I can make a lot of money parting this out. Got the whole front end, light, signals, grill. Everything's a little bit, a little dent in the bumper and everything, a little dent in the hood right here. I already had a call on a fender. A guy was supposed to come by and buy a fender for $100. Anyway, all the body panels are good, the bed's good, tailgate, back bumper's a little dinged up. The interior's real nice, nice seats. I can make some money on these seats here. And I've had pretty good parting these trucks out, so I can make a lot of money parting this out. So really the engine transmission is going to be free. Even just selling the catalytic converters, the rest of it's free. So it's a good money maker for what I'm going to use it for. Could I make more money fixing and selling it whole? Yeah, probably, but it'd be a lot of more labor. You know, it takes the labor sanding it down, painting it, and spend some more money on tires and the windshield and the rear end of drive shaft. And then people will still nitpick it to death and don't want to give me shit for it. So screw them. I have a hard time dealing with the public sometimes when they screw around like that. So we're going to part it out and avoid all that. So, what are we going to strip off of it? Well, we're going to take this is what I'm fixing to do right now, even though we got 4 days of rain. It's supposed to come in tonight, last 4 days, 7 inches of rain. I got to strip it outside right where it sits. I just pulled it up with my Jeep, had it sitting back there. So the plan is to take the whole front off. Fenders, I guess I got to take the hood, but I want to lay something over there so it doesn't get all wet. Torrential downpour on it. So hood, 2 fenders, core support, bumper, grill, headlights, all that. And then we're going to take the core support out with the condenser and radiator. I got a big 4-core aluminum radiator I'll probably use, but we're probably if I don't use this one, I'll sell it for sure. The AC system, we're going to take out, of course, catalytic converters, and then I'm going to save the little Y pipe or whatever and use that on the Nomad and weld onto that. Like I said, I want to try to get some side pipes for the Nomad, but for now we'll just cut off the exhaust after the catalytic converters. That'll go with the engine. We're going to take off the fuel system, which is all the fuel lines, fuel tank, and I'm going to see what I can use off that. The lines, the pump. I got some ideas on the fuel system, but I don't want to be buying a whole new fuel system and crap for this. The goal is to use what I can off of this. Cross member, motor mounts, and of course all the wiring. Okay, we're going to try to use, now I know I got to send out the computer here, right here, and get the key delete, or whatever it's called, sim delete, kim delete, whatever it is, and they have it so you can just start it, you know, without the security anti-theft bullshit stuff. I would like to done that now and then stick it back in there when I got it back and just see if it starts, make sure it starts, because I don't want it in the Nomad and then all of a sudden it doesn't start and it's a faulty computer because they sent me a shitty one. It's usually an exchange, you know, they send you one, you send them one back, or you just buy one outright, a used one that they've deleted the skim thing off of. But from what I read, you're supposed to delete the 2 rear oxygen sensors also, and I've had a problem with that before on a car where you delete them catalytic converters and the O2 sensors and the thing will run, it floods itself out, it gets lousy gas mileage. So you got to have them deleted from the computer. Apparently, I haven't done it yet, but that's what they say. So this truck is rated at 22 miles per gallon highway. I forget what the weight was on it now. 5,200 pounds, something like that. And the Nomad is 3,800 pounds. So it's Nomad's about 1,400 pounds lighter than the truck due to the frame. You know, trucks got big frames on them. That's what makes them weigh so much. So I'm hoping to get at least 25 miles to the gallon. That's one of the points of putting an LS in the Nomad, is gas mileage, because I'm going to be driving it a lot. Okay, so that is the plan, and the plan is to use the transmission because it's got the overdrive and it's there. I got it. Can I, you know, most people when they swap an LS, they use their old transmission, a turbo 350 400 or 700 R4, or like a Tremec 5-speed or something. I don't have any of that. I don't have any transmissions laying around that I could use. This one apparently works, even though the rear end's blown. And there is a way to hook it up and get it to working. If not, there is a harness you can buy, but you have to manually shift it. First, second, third, drive. You can't, if you have it in drive, it'll start off in drive, like third or fourth gear instead of first. But that's why we're going to use as much wiring harness as I can get out of here. I'm going to mark everything where they go, even little wiring like this. I'll mark that as going to the hood light, the AC light connections there, mark them for the AC. We're going to try to hybrid this AC system. You know, you got a big line and a little line there. There we go, big line and a little line. So we're going to try to maybe hook them in there like this and get this working with the original controls and everything. But that's not very important right now, but we're going to take as much as we can off of this. And as much wiring as I can off of this. And we need this. This is the deal here where you only need three wires from here to make it run in another car, in an older car. One to ignition, one to the fuel pump, and one, I forget, power or something. But that's just to get it running, see? We want way more than that. We want all the gauges to work. So I may have to use this whole gauge system here and put it in the Nomad. In fact, I'm probably gonna have to, unless I buy one of them $1,200-$1,500 harnesses from Holly, which I don't want to do. So we may have to fit this whole system in the Nomad. I don't know. That's right now, that's the only way I can think of to get all these gauges. These got all the gauges you need right here. I won't have to buy a tack. I won't have to buy, you know, 3 other gauges there to, you know, and set them down somewhere and look at them. Everything will be right there. Whereas the old Chevelle Nomad, it, you know, it doesn't got nothing. It got the speedometer and that's it. And a couple of idiot lights. It doesn't have an RPM gauge or anything. The only thing I'm using the original gas tank in the Nomad, so the only thing that we'll probably use off that Nomad is the gas gauge. But I think I can get a aftermarket gas gauge and stick that somewhere, because this gauge is not going to work since we're not going to be using this fuel tank. We may use the fuel pump, but not the tank. Okay, so I just wanted to go over all that because I'm not going to show too much of the stripping process. So we're going to take the whole front end off because it'll be easier to take the engine transmission out and easier to sell the parts since they'll be already pulled. Okay, so that's probably all the body parts I'm going to pull, and then we'll get underneath of it, do the fuel tank, fuel lines, front drive shaft, cross member, cut the exhaust, and then start undoing all the wiring. You know, there's going to be a ton of wiring in here, and I'm going to have to decide what, you know, we don't need all the wiring to the temperature and all that, but we need the wiring to, and the stereo. We need the wiring to all the gauges intact. All the wiring going backwards for tail lights and power seats and power windows. We don't need any of that. So I'm gonna have to figure all that out, and hopefully it'll all work. We're gonna be using a regular key ignition from the Nomad. I'll probably buy a new one just to make sure it's gonna be good. And so we won't need the wiring to the ignition and the horn and the airbags and all that. So I'm going to be carefully figuring out where all that goes and kind of snipping them and then marking them where they're supposed to go. Anyway, it's going to be quite complicated, I think, but that's what I'm going to do until I get stuck. And then if I get stuck, I'll have to watch some videos, but I don't know if anybody's going to be doing it the same way I am or not. It's I don't know if people are using the original gauges and stuff in their old cars or not. I'm gonna try it. I'm just trying to save thousands of dollars of buying harnesses and all that. Okay, so after that, we're gonna get the engine transmission, pull it out over here, roll the Nomad back, get it set up here, and then try to fit it in there, and then decide what we need for the engine to fit. Motor mounts, spacers, relocation, whatever it needs on the motor mount part of it. And then the most important is the oil pan. I've heard that the oil pans don't fit. You have to buy a special Holley or a special oil pan. I want to see for myself where it hits, whether it hits in here, and see for myself. Then we'll have to stop and order an oil pan. So I'm going to order stuff as we go. I'm not going to order everything all at once. Okay guys, well that's the plan. I'm going to get the code reader, see if the engine's got any codes on it. Like before it had 2, but I can't remember what they were for, evaporative or some bullshit stuff. Write them down and then start disconnecting stuff. Okay, so I'll be back when I get some more stuff done. Okay guys, give you a little update here, and for my own purposes to figure out how everything goes back together again. Even though I got the exact same truck, my own personal truck, but took off the air cleaner assembly, electrical hookup here, the overflow. There's two hoses come off of it, big one there. This one goes to the radiator. That's that one there, goes to the overflow. Let's see, and the other one went to here on the radiator. So I'm about to take the AC off here and here. All these headlights and signals and everything and horn, there's one wire or one connection that goes to the AC, probably a pressure type switch. So we'll probably have to save that. I don't know, maybe not. But anyway, just so I know that that's in there along with this harness, because I was actually just going to snip it all off. I'm not going to need any of it. Same with this stuff. It does have a ground. This wire here coming in and wiggling just grounds to the frame. This is a power steering cooler, so probably reuse that. So we're going to disconnect these two from the AC lines and disconnect it here. pull it off, disconnect this one. This one goes to the compressor, the big one. The little one goes out to the condenser. So we're going to take this this deal off. AC condenser, radiator, core support. That's what we're going to pull off next. It's pretty much all ready to go except for the two. Is it 2 bolts or 4? That's 2. One on each side. Then that should come right out. I don't think I have to take the fenders off, but okay, so all these lines, these 2 are the heater. They go from here up to the heater core. We'll undo them 2. Bottom radiator hose goes here. Top radiator hose, and fix and take that off. Right on top of here, I guess the water pump. And this one here, and this shroud is about to come off too. Take that shroud off, then we can take the radiator. So I'll be back when I get all that stuff off. Okay guys, starting to rain a little bit, so I may have to stop. But anyway, there's the radiator support, front bumper. Got the shroud, radiator, condenser, overflow, all that stuff in here. Shroud. I forgot this is rack and pinion steering, so this is where the power steering. I should be able to hook this up somehow though. Hooks into the rack. Okay, I got the computer unhooked from these rusty brackets and crap. The next is to take off this box here. This is all the wiring here for the front, mostly for the lights. A couple of AC lines. That all hooks into this. Okay, then we're going to figure out where the rest of it hooks in. This little harness here had the other AC line and to the air box. So we're going to take off that little, well, let's see, that hooks into here. Anyway, I'm going to figure all that out. Unhook the power steering lines, take off this box, take off as much wiring as I can from the firewall and everything, and then we're going to go inside and undo it all. See where it all goes into the firewall. We're going to see where all that leads to on the inside and do that. Anyway, I'll be back. Okay guys, give you a little update here. I can't remember exactly where I left off last time, but I disconnected the power steering here. Once I get the engine out, I'll take it off through there. I'm starting to take all the wiring, took the heater hoses off. It looks like the 2 fuel lines. I'm not sure which one goes in and which one's the vent, but I'll figure it out. There's 2 lines here. I'll get them off, and then I think they just stay on the firewall and tuck all the way down the frame to the tank. So really you just got the fuel lines and the motor mounts. And of course the wiring. So this whole wiring thing was set up here. Of course you lift this off and this just clips onto this. Now somebody's been in here before, because I believe there's supposed to be 2 nuts there. Let me see if I can. I might have clicked it back in there. Yeah, right here. Okay. This lifts up like this, so you can have access to it. First thing I noticed was this. I don't know what they go to. Doesn't look like they should be this one anyway should be just loose like that. I'll have to check my other truck and see. There's 2 bolts that mount to here and here. One of them was missing. So being that was missing, these 2 are missing. Somebody's been in here before monkeying around with it, so I'm not sure if anything's you know, been rigged or what. But anyway, this box here will go onto the fender well of the Nomad. I'm not sure if all this is gonna fit, but we'll see. But all this is gonna, I'll just leave this off for now. There were some ground wires here, took off, kind of left them there. This here is for the cruise control. It's got another cable. It's cable for the got the throttle, gas pedal, and this is the cruise control. Okay, this is all the wiring going into the cab. I'm going to take that off, and then of course it's got some wiring underneath, probably to the fuel pump. Got some wires going here underneath, right here. Not exactly sure what that is. Oh, that might be the O2 sensor, or no, ABS brakes or something, I don't know. We'll figure that out too. Okay, so I started taking the dash apart and started kind of marking everything. All these wires are probably just going to be snipped off anyway, but I just wanted to mark them as I went. Light switch, dome light switch. These were already cut here for the stereo, so we put in an aftermarket. These are for the fans and heater controls. This one was a little passenger airbag switch to turn it on and off. And we got some wires here for this these cigarette lighter adapter things here. I'll take them off next. Anyway, it's got wires going all the way through over here. I'll disconnect them. You just got wires everywhere. So, and another fuse block right here. So we're going to take this dash off. There's some bolts here. Take the rest of this off. This goes to the gauges, which we want to save, and then we want to save the where you plug in the computer code reader right here. We want to definitely save them too. And then we'll have wires going to the security up here for the ignition switch. See if there's any way to save that maybe and use this on the Nomad. That way I don't have to have the computer redone. Delete the security, but I don't know. We'll figure that out. I'll take all this apart. So anyway, that's what I'm doing right now. Figuring out where all the wires go. Once I get it all figured out, some are gonna have to just be snipped. Like these wirings going to the door, we're gonna snip that back here because we don't need any of this power window, and that was just the door. Foot on the bottom of the door, trying to hold it shut to block the sound of the radio. We don't need any of this stuff, so I'm just gonna cut these off. That's what we'll end up doing with most of these, but I don't want to cut anything right now. But most of them are just going to be cut off. And just a few wires, like I said, for the gauges and crap like that. Okay, so that's where I'm at now. I'm going to be spending the rest of the daylight taking this dash and stuff apart. So I will be back. Okay, guys, there's the dash. This thing is not easy to take out, I'll tell you that. You have to take it out to change the heater core, I think. Remember years ago, me and my friend had these trucks we bought new, and he had to have a heater core put in a few years later, and we paid somebody because YouTube had said to take out the whole dash. Anyway, I got it out, busted a few parts getting it out, but son of a bitch, you have to break the bottom of it to get it around the steering wheel. Okay, so I don't know how long this has been sitting up. A lot of mouse crap in here. I think I can do away with almost all these wires. They're just going to the heater and fan and the passenger door. A couple of interesting things I found. I'm fixing to look up this part number. Something about FCC ID number, and may cause interference, and I don't know what it is. It's got a part number. It says ABS on it, and I think it's one of them government things where they can it says ABS plus PC, one of them government things they can monitor you with or something. Definitely have to do away with that. But so I was thinking about snipping this whole harness over here, but I don't know what this is for. Might have something to do with the ignition wires. I haven't got that far yet, but of course we want to save. This is for the gauges here, and that goes into this harness right here. So we definitely want to save that. And then now I'm fixing to check out all the column and all these wires here to see if there's any way that I can rig up these wires to start it without sending that computer off to Never Never Land. Okay, this is the body control module. I don't know if I need that or not. But anyway, I'm going to start sniffing wires and taking the column out. I just figured I'd show you that. I'll be back. Okay guys, this is the wiring from the inside. Now, this stuff here connects inside this fuse block here that's under the hood. Had to disconnect that and shove it through this hole to get all this out. Now I'm not sure if I need everything on here. Like I said, the main thing is the see, this stuff I don't need. This one under the hood, wiper, hood light, cruise control. Probably don't need them. But the main thing under the hood is the gauges and the little OBD2 code reader thing. Those are the two main things. So how they're all wired in there, see this, they're wired into this box, and so I'm not sure. I don't think I need this one here, but I'm not positive. I may strip all these wires down and see. I don't know if I need the I think this is the body control module, but so this and this plug here plug into the column right here and right here. And these are all the wires to the column. But of course they're for everything. They're for the ignition. I believe this part here is for the ignition, safety, security, all that. And then this is mostly to the blinkers and cruise control and all that. This one goes around to the gear shift. There's some wires for you know, the gear shift indicator, and make sure it's, you know, neutral safety switch type stuff. This is rigged. See, this orange wire here is supposed to be here, and I don't know whether it broke and they just put in the speaker wire to connect it, but that is for the tow haul. And what that actually does is turns off your overdrive. So for one thing, we got to make sure that's not set to tow haul, or else the overdrive will be off. We only have 3 gears instead of 4. So I'm not sure what to do about this column yet. I don't think I can use it in the car or mount it. I don't know, it would be nice to put it in there, but I don't think I could mount it in the Nomad. But anyway, that's all. It's just these 2 harnesses here. I didn't take it all the way out because I didn't want to screw up the shifter type stuff. I'm not even sure if there's any linkage, or it's just all electronic. But it's got a little deal to make it sound like it's clicking into gears and stuff. We'll have to take off the cable for the gas pedal up there. But other than that, that thing I showed you was, I don't know, I got it back in here somewhere. It was the for the remote lock deal, to remote lock it, and it was, like I said, it looked kind of funny with FCC thing on there, and it was up underneath the dash cover thing over here. So it looked kind of skeptical, like it was something that, you know, government could shut off your car by remote satellite, you know. I'm a big believer. I think they do have something like that in case there's ever a big mass panic and everybody wants to evacuate. They can just click a few satellite buttons there and shut off everybody's cars. So I don't know if they're in, I'm sure they're in new cars now, but I don't know how old back it goes. Okay, so the rest of these I don't need, I know for sure. So I'm gonna hook up this here so I don't forget where it goes and so they don't get corroded. Probably when I pull the engine I'll disconnect that so I don't have to lift this around with the engine. Okay, so the only wires, I think there's a wire down here, and I think that's to the O2 sensor, but it goes up underneath the frame there, so I'll check that. I'm fixing to go underneath now. And then another harness from here goes back through the frame rail. That's probably to the fuel pump and tail lights and everything. We'll need the fuel pump most likely. These I cut, these were for the ABS, so we don't need them for sure. So I think the next step is to jack this up, get underneath of it, cut the catalytic converters. Oh yeah, I think we do need them O2 sensors, at least the 2 front ones. So yeah, when I come back, we'll be underneath there and I'll be taking off some stuff. I don't know, you can see a catalytic converter right there, so it's gonna be, I may just take the 2 bolts off the manifold or just cut it with a Sawzall right there. Either way. But I'll be back. Okay guys, I've been underneath there, disconnected the O2 sensors. It does have a cable to the shifter, and it was a son of a bitch. Comes up through the floor, goes through the back here and up into the column. But it had a big old brace, this big metal brace there with a spring holding the back of it in. And I had to take all that apart just to get it. Okay, so bad news on the catalytic converters. One of them, as you can see here, it's hollow. And this one looks okay, but you can still see a little daylight in there, so I don't know what they'll say about that one. But that one's definitely nothing. What happens is those screens, that screen that's in there, it breaks, and then all the stuff inside blows out the exhaust. So, but anyway, there are O2 sensors in front and behind, and I got them marked. That was this other wire going down to this end here. going underneath the frame rail. That's the front and rear O2 sensors there. So we got that. And yeah, that had to been, that was probably, see, if both them aren't hooked up and working right, they'll read wrong and you'll get lousy gas mileage. It'll burn rich and stuff. So maybe I got those two codes that check engine light was putting out, and maybe one of them codes was because this one catalytic converter was empty, so there was no difference in the exhaust from front to back. But anyway, I got that. Starting to rain out a little bit. Lucked out on the rain. It rained a lot there the first day. Yesterday not too bad, and today not too bad. Just drizzling out a little bit. But I think that's about it. We only got like a 10% chance. I think we only got maybe two inches of rain compared to Dallas got like 10. So right this little area where I'm at there, just kind of lucked out. A little bit to the north got a bunch, south got a bunch. But anyway, I'm bearing through it. I'll be back later. Okay guys, we'll crawl underneath here and show you what I got going on. Okay, here's the harness coming down to the fuel pump right here, and probably the tail lights. This is the cable, shifter cable, goes up in the floor. I got it disconnected from the column, so I just got to pull it down. Okay, got a little ground wire there. Okay, so other than that, here's the vent line, the O2 sensors for the left side. Okay, now it's got three fuel lines. I seen two connected to the engine. I'll have to find the third one up there. I'll probably just disconnect it from the engine, pull the engine transmission, and then come out and take these fuel lines off. There's a filter there, and the tank's right there. So we'll take all that apart after the engine's out. This, not sure what that, well, I'm pretty sure it's an ABS brake for the rear. Okay, and we got the front drive shaft here. Do not replace this shaft without rebalancing. Okay, so anyway, that's the front shaft. The rear's busted off, but we got to take that off of the transmission, and I may have to use this yoke here for the Nomad, and put the Nomad drive shaft on it. Okay, so that says like just like two bolts there. Pop that off, and then we'll just pop this. I got all the kitties under here. Pop this cross member off in case we need to use some of it, part of it. And you can see it's got a big thing here we might have to use. But anyway, it looks like it's just two bolts on each side. Take that off. Is that the shifter? Yeah, there's the shifter cable there. And this will go up to the engine. This is the wiring to the transmission, which we definitely need. Where is that? Oh, I think it was on this side. Yeah, that's for the shifter part of it. And then I think over on this side is the electronic controls. I can see you going in there. Let's get a bunch of oil on the bottom of the pan. So it's probably leaking a little oil somewhere. That's where I cut off the catalytic converter from the passenger side. Hopefully that won't hit the frame taking it out. It might. I might have to take off them 3 bolts. Same with the driver's side here. I'll probably just take them off. Okay, and then the motor mounts. 2 bolts there. And 2 bolts up there on this side. Okay, it looks like a small oil pan. It's we'll have to see if it fits a Nomad. It's not supposed to, but what are you doing, kitty? You helping? Okay, so that's what I'm about to take out. Let's see if I can get this done today. Get this engine transmission out of here. It's going to be kind of hard with the engine hoist. I think I'm just going to pull it up with the hoist and then pull the truck out from underneath of it. Hopefully I can get it out that way. I'm not going to be able to roll the hoist around in the dirt unless I try to tow this thing, point it over and get it on the concrete over there. But anyway, that's the plan. So I'll be back when I get some more stuff done. Okay guys, I got the gas tank out. How's these 2 little emissions vapor canister type things there. One of them, this one here, had electrical connection to it. Need to take the gas out of there. It's about a 1/4 tank. Yeah, they had, see the bed here, they put a hole in the bottom of the, right there, to get at the fuel pump, a little flap. So they changed the fuel pump before, but anyway, yeah, the lines, there's just a couple of, I could probably take them lines out, just a couple little clips holding it on. And then this is the harness going all the way back. I don't know why they need so many wires to a damn fuel pump, but these here hook to the fuel pump. Those are 4, 7 wires. I don't know why they need 7. That goes to a little evaporator canister, then a ground. And then this just went to the rear tail lights. So I think it's ready to pull. As far as I can tell, I got everything off there. Had 3 gas lines, these 2, and then this one was a vent. I couldn't really, didn't want to break it back there, so this just connects right here. Just put that to the side. So 2 gas lines and a vent line. There's 3 of them going all the way back to the tank. I'll probably take them off, see if I can use them. Other than that, I think I got everything. Got the motor mount bolts. I don't know if that exhaust is going to clear the frame, but I couldn't get those exhaust bolts off the manifold. They were just, I got 1 off out of 6. And I tried to break her bar, but it was slipping because I had to have an extension. So I don't know if I can get them off or not. I may have to pull it up a little bit and then sawzall some more once I get it. But anyway, I'll be back. Oh, this is the drive shaft front part there. And then it had a nice Flowmaster on it. I don't know if the video done it any justice, but it does sound really good. But it's not a dual exhaust, but it's got 2 little tailpipes coming out. Save it for something. I doubt it's going to go on the Nomad, because the Nomad's going to have side pipes if I can get some and make it work. If not, I'd have to have 2 of them, but anyway, I'll use it for something. Okay guys, I got her out. Nothing easy about this pull from a truck. It was a real pain in the ass. Okay. Broke this little deal off the intake here. Pretty sure I can just kind of JB weld that back in. Yeah, I don't want to lose it. Okay, and this little deal here broke off there. I guess it caught up in here. Yeah, motor mounts were the main thing. I took the other side off with these three here, but this has to come up, you know, that far and clear the frame. And so this side I took that off, but then they, oh, almost tripped over. These here, I got it up so far. You can see underneath there, I got an extensions, and there's not enough power with an extension and the impact. Now I can probably take these off. They'll probably snap, but so these things here have to pretty much be all the way off to pull the engine, or else it's going to hit the frame. Okay, so that was the other pain in the ass. The other part was the cross member. This cross member right here, right there, that's bolted in right here, and it's right against the oil pan. The oil pan moves a couple inches forward, and then it's got to come up and over, but of course it can't because it's going to hit. So you got to take that cross member out to clear the oil pan. And then of course when you get that out, then the oil pan comes up and hits the power steering rack right here. So that's as far forward as you can get, and then you got to come up straight up with it. And then of course I guess it hit under here and busted that deal. That's the transmission mount there. The transmission mount broke. No big deal though. Right here, went to do the bolt, and it was stuck on there, and it just kept turning and just ripping all the rubber. You can see it. But once that was out of the way, clear, there's pieces of it there. So I don't think we use that for the Nomad because it's way too tall, but it's there. Took the column out right here. Took the power steering cooler out right there. Here's all the fuel lines. This hooks to the engine. 2 lines in, the return, and the vent. And they come all the way down, curve around, filter, and those go into the tank, or go into, yeah, right here to the tank. And then it curves around. Okay, so I think I got everything off of this. It's just going to go straight back and stay there till it's stripped, because I ain't got no column to steer it now. But I'll probably need some more little stuff off of it, but that's all I can think of for now. Okay, so the next thing is to clean it up. This is the only way I could really hook it up, and lucky I didn't break any very small valve covers on this, very thin. But I don't know if hopefully I didn't damage any of those. I don't think I did. But yeah, real skinny exhaust manifolds and skinny valve covers. So next thing is to pressure wash it. I'll leave it right here. I got my pressure washer right there. Gonna hose her all down and put some degreaser on it and clean it up best I can. Then try to get a trailer or something over this, drop it down, and then get it up on this concrete. Now, this concrete isn't very smooth, so it's not going to roll very good. So that's going to be put some tires on the Nomad, roll it back, get the hoist in the engine right here, and just fit it in and out, you know, a bunch of times just to see how it's going to fit. This didn't come with a cross member, but I got that '69 Chevelle parts car out in my yard, and it's got the cross member, although it's not supposed to fit a wagon. I don't know why. Too short, too long, frame different on the wagon or something. But I'm gonna get that and the 2 clamshell motor mounts off the Chevelle, and then we're gonna screw around and see what type of motor mounts. Well, I'll have to watch some videos and see if we can line it up for the original drive shaft, which I got to fit in there. And that's why I took this drive shaft here. We used the yoke off of this, hopefully the original drive shaft off the Nomad, fit it in there, and then mount the engine in that way, if it'll fit. And like I said, we'll see. It looks like all the front will clear, you know, all the accessories, but we don't know yet. So, and the old pan. So that'll be the next video. We're gonna end this video like this. Next video will start. I'll have the engine over here cleaned up, and we'll see if we can get a way to slide it in and out. Probably be pushing the car over and under, see if we can get this motor more evenly, as I got this little deal here, level it out. Couldn't pull it out level in the truck. I was hoping to, but see if we can get that set up level, and then pull the car forwards and backwards under it, and hopefully figure out a way for it to mount in there. And whether I got to drill new holes for the mounts or use shims or whatever, or buy the kit. So anyway, I think that'll be it for the video. So subscribe if you haven't, like, share, comment, and all that stuff, and we'll see y'all next video. Should be a good one.